Hey everybody, I'm that girl Goddess. I'm back. I want to talk about maintenance. I've been doing my skin lately, so I haven't been putting no makeup on, and yeah, I still didn't get to shampoo my hair. I had a lot of appointments yesterday to meet, and just early this morning, I've been out since about 7 a.m. Then I went straight to my job, so I'm at my job right now. Everything was a little crazy when I got in here, but I just be about my business and do what I supposed to do and get home. But all is good. God sent me to wake up this morning, and I'm gonna thank Him. Think of all the beautiful things He's doing in my life. I'm practicing on being more consistent in what I do because I haven't been being consistent, and I supposed to have told everybody happy Resurrectional Day, happy Easter. Let me get that out the way. I'm sorry I'm late, but I worked all day Easter. It was a long day, and I'm trying to get a few more projects out the way. Early this morning when I did get back from a medical appointment, I went in my kitchen and rearranged a few things, and it's all good. I got to get a few more things to do off my checklist. Purchase like 6 fold away chairs and get some more sheets and blankets. Well, I don't necessarily need the blankets, some more sheets. I have some, but I want a few sets. Okay, so all is good in that, and from there, I'm gonna talk about some of the things I've been looking at as I'm gonna do a series on caring for the elderly, going through neglect, abuse, assault, battery. A lot of things people don't understand. I'm gonna put out there. When a lot of elderly people are out here being abused, as well as children. Those are the two most vulnerable groups. I'm gonna say this: with a lot of these elderly people bring a lot on themselves. They're not mental health; they're just mean. I was raised by a generation, and everybody in that generation, you may hear they said, "Okay, if the street lights come on, you better be on the front porch." They believed in the belt. I'm not necessarily against the belt, but when I go through me going through the foster care or adoption program, I just follow the laws of the land. I know the reason why a lot of these youth are messed up because they needed the belt early on. And the sad thing about it is we see what the downfall of taking away spanking a child, because the downfall of society. Okay, nobody respects authority nowadays, and you have the wrong mindset in so many areas. They bullying, they disrespectful, they disrespect themselves. But we're gonna talk about when you go into caring for the elderly. Let's say this: when you see abuse and neglect, if you caring for them, even if you're a family member caring for them, friends to come by and caring for them, anybody that can recognize this abuse and everything like that, you are mandated to report it. And if you don't report it and it comes out that you was around and they can prove you knew and this and that, what's going to happen is you can face criminal charges. So I tell people, you got relatives you caring for, they got bed sores, they got bruises, old bruises, they scared, okay? You got problems on your hand if somebody reports you, and you should be reported. I'm just gonna let you know that you should be. Because when you fight a person, and I always see this when a person look like they over 200 pounds and they want to fight someone that's barely 80 pounds or barely 150 pounds. I just look at them, they're cowards. I mean, sometimes a lot of people do a lot of things that's out of order, okay? But you have to recognize the signs of neglect. Neglect going into, they dehydrated, they have pressure injuries, as we call bed sores, you know, um, they have contractures where I always tell people, if you're gonna wash them up, and this is before they have contractures. I mean, because if you see their hands it won't move and they can't get a tight fist and their nails growing in, you have to report those things to their doctor, okay? But when you do give a bed bath and their hands are, you wash their hands, you dry their hands, you put lotion on their hands, you massage that hand, okay? You got to get the blood circulating. You need to do range of motion, in which they don't teach a lot of people. And you can see the elbows don't straighten out, their ankles is leaning over to a side, the wrist is barely, some of them is like this and they can't function. I mean, you have to, their hips is out of place, their spine, and that's for the lack of getting the blood circulating and stretching them, and that's where the range of motion come in, okay? You're gonna have to exercise them. You're gonna have to do their range of motions and try to keep them healthy. They shouldn't be getting so their body is, you know, their hands are close to their chest and you can't lift their arms up. That's because they went through a long period of neglect, you know. And you have to fail to realize elderly people are still human beings. Then they dehydrated, somebody got dark urine, they're not going to the bathroom that much to urinate, they tend to be constipated, they could have organ failure, UTIs, they have a hard time swallowing, their mouth is dry and sticky, they have sunken eyes, their skin, when you pinch their skin, it won't bounce back, it'll stand up, it can rip very easily. Very easily, their skin can tear like paper. Their muscles are weak, they tend to have low blood pressure, rapid heart rate, fever, they tend to be confused. When you deal with dehydration, their organs are even gonna fail and drying out. When they get old, sometimes they don't remember to drink water or anything like this. So if you're at home, you caring for your elderly people, you have to remind them to drink water, okay? You're gonna have to get them fluids in there. I don't care if you go get a Gatorade with 0 calories and add some water in it, half and half. You got to start getting them to keep their electrolytes going, get their water in their system. That's part of the thing of dealing with elderly people. It's just like dealing with a baby. There's a lot of things you got to do that you won't do if you're not elderly. And some people, I would say elderly is people over the age of 65. Let me tell you something. The way this society is, and a lot of people have problems, they may be going, this new generation, their bodies are shutting down in their 30s, 40s, 50s, okay? And when they are patients, yes, you still have to encourage the range of motion. I have met a lot of young people, and they'll tell you, I don't even walk 2 blocks. That's not good. Their body's gonna shut down. They don't put in no exercises. And I have seen people literally, the youngest one I believe was 35 years old, and his body was already pulling in and getting stiff. And I did stretches with them, and it's gonna hurt, so you can't stretch them all the way. You gotta slowly bring it in, hold it until their muscles loosen up. You have to use stuff like Vaseline, lotion to moisturize their skin so it will be able to stretch, because if you don't get that moisture in their skin and that water in it, their skin can rip like paper. Okay? A lot of times when they like this, they can't even feel when their skin has torn or anything. When the clients has been abused, they be afraid to talk a lot of times. They be scared that family won't come around them, that they're too much trouble. You have to be there for them. You're their eyes and ears and help. You basically just like they're a baby. You're gonna have to be there. You got to do things you ain't necessarily doing. You know, you gotta keep them when they in their bed. Make sure you don't have no wrinkles on them sheets and stuff, because it will get impressions in their skin. It can cause them to have bed sores. And some of the common areas you will see bed sores will be their shoulders, their elbows, their hips, bony areas, their calves, their knees. And these are areas sometimes you got to put a pillow between their legs so they won't be, and sometimes you got to rotate them. If they doctor don't tell you, probably every 2 hours, okay, rotate their body so they won't be just putting pressure on one area. You know, you have to do gentle stretching. I say gentle because their skin can tear. If they're dehydrated, you're gonna have to work on several areas when you deal with elderly people. You gotta watch them take their meds. They don't like to take it. A lot of times you can put it in some applesauce or cinnamon applesauce and let it melt down in a spoon and feed it to them. And they'll eat it because they will taste most of the applesauce. Okay? You are gonna have to do range of motion. Okay? Help them get them arms up. And I remember I met a man, he had contractures, but when I got through within that year, oh baby, not only was he moving his arms every which way, he was getting up dancing. And I encourage the elderly to dance, to use muscles they don't quite use. You don't overdo it and exhaust them and they have sore muscles. You do it gently. It's a process. That's what you got to do. That's just what you got to do. You're going to have to watch them to prevent them from wandering. They confused. They go back in age. You got to figure out things to do with them, activities to give them sensory memory stimulation and, you know, just sensory stimulation, period. You know, you're going to have to do a lot of things. Cook with them, flower arrangement, dance with them, okay?